Hi everybody, welcome to Jobs in Showbiz. My name is Olivia and here we have Brian Hanish. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Brian here is a production sound mixer, so very important stuff going on here. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know we've been going back and forth a lot. You said something that stood out to me, which is in regards to your department working independently from everybody else in the film and television world. Do you want to elaborate a little more on that?
Well, it's together and independently. So most jobs on a film set, you have to answer to the DP, so the grips and the lighting department sort of take direction from the director of photography or the director himself. But in sound, no one really tells us as a department what we need to do. So in that respect, we kind of operate independently from the set, meaning we are a part of it, but I'm in charge with my team on how we mic the scene and who we mic and so on.
So he's the boss.
I'm the boss. I'm king of my castle, yeah.
That's nice. So what about the hiring process? What steps did you take to get here? Did you submit a demo? Did you know somebody? How does somebody get here?
How does somebody get here? My journey has been sort of word of mouth. So when I started, I worked on smaller productions, and then I met various, producers and directors, and then I make friends, and if they like my work, then they carry me on to other projects, or other producers or directors contact them and say, hey, I'm looking for someone good, and hopefully my name comes up, which it has. And then how I got here was, I know Sylvain Arsenault, who was the production sound mixer on season 1, 2, and 3, and he departed to do some other projects, so I had been doing some second unit and main unit for this production, so they kind of asked me to take over main unit for this season, so that's how it
great.
works. Yeah, it's
that's
great.
So great. Yeah. So did you have to give a demo at some point? Is there a demo? Is it an interview process?
There is an interview process. I didn't get formally interviewed. Normally you would. There is no demo because
I don't know,
some guys do, but
yeah.
Some guys don't. I don't have one. I don't even have a website. I don't even have a business card, to be honest. Because like I mentioned before, word of mouth is how I've gotten my work. And there is a slight interview, but I had worked on the production before, so they had known my name. So the interview was basically, they talked to post-production about my work, who handles all the material after the fact, so they have a good sense of if I'm good or I'm not good. And Sylvain Arsenault, who was the previous sound mixer, gave me a recommendation, so they go on.
That always helps.
That's actually that's how I get all my work. It's just basically another sound mixer. If I'm taking over for them, or producer director that I work for, they just say, I would like to have him because of prior experience. So, which is great. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I've been lucky in that same sense too. Just one show after the other, people go on to another show, they take you with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they can't, they recommend you.
Yeah, which is great.
It's very flattering.
Yeah.
So now we're going to briefly discuss the sound cart and all of its functions and features. Okay, maybe not everything, because we only have like 5-10 minutes. So what are the main go-tos? What do you use? What's important?
Well, it's all important, but there's basically two things that we need to do. So there's signals going out and signals coming in. The signals going out are provided by these 3 boxes, and basically I have a private feed that goes to the main boom operator, so I can communicate with him solely. The other one is for my third, who takes care of all the wiring and stuff. If I have to speak to him, I can speak to him directly. And they get different feeds too in their headphones.
Okay.
And this little box is for director and producers and stuff, and that allows them to hear everything that I'm recording. So that's important, and I'm in charge of all that stuff. If people need to hear stuff for cues and other things, it comes from these. Up here, these funky looking things, if you put them, they look like Star Wars type cool things, but they're
honeycombs.
Honeycombs, yeah. They're antennas for receiving signals, so everything on my sound card is wireless. So the boom and all the wireless mics, I receive everything wireless, because that allows me to work quicker and faster.
Right, you don't have to worry about all the cables.
All the cables, and if we're seeing that, so that receives that. A big important factor is a time code recorder, so all the voices and all the sound effects that I record end up on this machine, and it's by Sound Devices, very popular manufacturer.
Right.
Multi-track, so it's up to 8 tracks, so you can split all the characters,
Oh, nice.
speaking talent into their individual tracks,
Right.
and provide a mix too. Monitors, surprising. I'm a sound guy, but what do I need picture for?
You need to see.
You need to see, because talent coming in, talent coming out, and I can identify sort of what we see and what we don't see.
Right.
So if there's things that are making noise that I don't see in the picture, we
You can address them.
Exactly.
Or even if a boom comes in.
Yeah,
Never happens.
Which never happens on my team, of course. Yeah, we don't want that happening. And it lets me know what shots are happening, and I can keep track of what they're filming. These are all this is a wireless receiver for all the wireless mics I use on the talent, plus the wireless boom. There's 6 channels on that, and then this is a mixing interface where you can see all the sliders and knobs, so I control all the gain for the inputs. And this is where
It looks fun.
It is fun. It's kind
I
of.
just want to be like, ooh.
It's like Rubik's Cube, but linear. So.
Yeah.
But this was where I control all the signals going to the recorder and various functions other than that. So I can pull that drawer in and out. I just have 2 drawers for odds and ends and stuff like that. I stash cookies in there and gum and other things, but extra headphones and
We'll keep that closed.
We'll keep that closed, because I don't know if we can open that. And then this is just a power supply, so I have all the power for all
Everything.
the equipment
Yeah.
going through this, and it's uninterruptible. So if I get unplugged by accident from the AC, it has its own power source, so nothing happens, the recording doesn't stop. And then I have some battery chargers down below. We use rechargeables now, which is really great. We don't have to use batteries and then throw them out. Great technology. So
2016.
yeah, 2016. So we're a little bit greener on my cart. We're trying to always be greener if we
Yeah.
can. And that's about it. That's the bones of it. You know?
And this is all yours. You own it.
This is correct. I own all this stuff. Yeah.
And then production has to pay you a fee?
A rental. Yeah.
A rental.
So they pay me a daily rental for all that equipment. So
as a newbie, would you suggest them slowly starting to get equipment, or do productions usually have something if you don't?
Well, I remember when I was getting into the business, I saved up some money, and then I bought the essential pieces to do a certain work. So I did a lot of documentary work. I did a little bit of short film work, and I would borrow from other guys or rent stuff. And then as I got a little bit more money and the productions were getting bigger that I was working on, I would add gear to that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah, because it's kind of personalizing the way you want to work. Some guys work differently than others, and there's different choices for everybody. So I worked for other people too. I wasn't mixing right off the top. I was an assistant, and then I was a boom operator for a bit, so I got to work with mixers and see what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and then I made choices based on those experiences and then built it. It's slowly but surely. You don't just walk out and
Have
get something
everything.
and have everything. You can't
Yeah.
do that, but
And then you're looking for a job. Ooh,
and you're nothing there. Yeah, I live in a freelance world, so you know.
for sure.
Yeah.
And last question, if there was another job you could do on set, what would it be and why?
I would like to camera operate,
Oh yeah?
because I like to take pictures
Yeah.
of my son and stuff like that, and little videos. So I think that would be a great job, just to be able to, because you're in control of what people see. So I think that's a pretty cool job. So
Well, if I ever have an opening for my camera operator, I love you. I'll give you a call.
no problem.
Well, thank you, Brian.
No problem.
And thank you, everyone, for watching.